So, as you all know, Apple has not yet released a gaming console. But why? A simple answer is because it's hard to succeed in the gaming market and the popularity of the App Store. But actually, recent rumors say we could see a gaming console similar to the Nintendo Switch or look similar to this year's upcoming Mac Mini. But it is unlikely for now. So, you're watching this video right now because you want to know about Apple's infamous and forgotten console, right? If so, then come with me now, back in time before Apple's first console development started, when our story starts. In the 1970s to the 1990s, video game consoles became a popular thing. Some were collaborated with Bandai, now merged and rebranded to Bandai Namco. Then in 1993, Bandai wanted to make a console that is a multimedia hub in a gaming console using CD-ROM similar to the gaming consoles today. And so, they proposed the idea to Apple in 1994, who's currently struggling because of the board members in 1985 not using their common sense by forcing Steve out of Apple, resulting in the switch of CEOs. The current CEO during the 1990s and during the console development was Michael Sprindler. And so far, in the same year, Apple partnered with Bandai, made an agreement of not adding the term computer to prevent confusion with Apple's Macintosh product line and let Apple do the case and logic board design. Meanwhile with Bandai, they basically just do the rest of the work like marketing and distribution. Then after that, Apple and Bandai licensed Pippin and announced the console platform in Tokyo. And several prototyping later of its console, its final prototype design is based on the Macintosh 2 with Roman numerals, and its controllers looking like this that uses sensor-mounted trackballs for more reliability, just like the old trackpads in the 1990s. The console itself is powered by a PowerPC 604 processor with 6 MHz of RAM, and uses a 14.4 gigabits per second modem and a 4x speed CD-ROM drive, but unfortunately had to use a scaled down version of its latest macOS version at the time, macOS 7.5.2, for not having a hard drive, and developers had to rewrite the entire game to run properly on the Pippin due to its crappy specifications. And fun fact, because of people's feedbacks, internet connectivity is also featured to the console as it was originally not to have internet connectivity on it. Unbelievable. Now after that was done, Bandai made an agreement to Mitsubishi to mass produce them and sell them under the name Pippin Atmark. It was supposed to release in 1995 but was delayed to March 1996 for Japan and June 1996 for the US. And then another model called Pippin At-World was then later released in December, following up with Cats Media Pippin KMP 2000 that was released in March of 1997, produced by Cats Media. All of the models started at a high price of $600. And it is believed that it would have more than 100,000 units sold and would be successful enough to save Apple. But what actually happened is that it only produced around 42,000 units, due to its high price, releasing it at a bad time, and lack of games. And so, the Pippin became a total failure, and Apple dies even more. Apple's new CEO, Gil Amelio, who replaced Michael Sprindler in 1996, decided to develop another Pippin console that is faster, to have a DVD drive, 2D and 3D graphics acceleration and modem support despite the failure, but that never happened, and all the Pippin models ended up being discontinued later in the summer of 1997 because he purchased Next, a software company that was run by Steve Jobs, and the board decided to do the right thing by letting Steve Jobs be the next CEO to save Apple, forcing Gil Amelio out of Apple. And that path went well as he successfully saved the company and made it to become where it is today, but handled by another CEO 14 years later since Steve Jobs was dying of pancreatic cancer. And that CEO knows and can manage Apple very well, kept Apple the same company ever since. He made Apple a $3 trillion company, the most valuable company in the whole planet of Earth. He released the $1,000 Pro stand, you know what I mean, you've guessed it. Yes, it is the one who you think it is, and I'm actually going to say it now. And that other CEO is Tim Cook, who replaced Steve Jobs in August 24, 2011, almost 2 months before he died, and is still current CEO till today, but unfortunately will retire and be replaced by a board of director member in 2025. And so, that explains the entire story about Apple's forgotten console. The Apple Bandai Pippin's Atmark, At-World, and Cats Media Pippin KMP 2000. But how is Apple saved by Steve Jobs? How is Apple still alive till today under the leadership by Tim Cook? And what is the future of Apple? Like this video, subscribe, and set notifications to all if you want to know about that.